Who belongs in the family? Who belongs in your family? Who belongs in your family tree? Who is there? I want to pose the very radical idea that everyone belongs. Everyone who entered your family structure, it could be by blood, it could be by marriage, it could be by adoption, it could be a child out of wedlock that the wife didn't know about. Anyone who enters the family system belongs. In the broader sense, everyone belongs, everyone is family. So in your family system, everyone who has entered it, like an in-law, third cousin, half sibling, everyone belongs. And I don't know if you can just feel that sense of relief in those words, that everyone who enters the family system in any which way belongs, is meant to be there, is an important part of your family system. The ego loves to exclude. But if you have a sense of release when you think that everyone belongs, in my family tree, I'm putting everyone. There's a sense of relief because the nature of our spirit, the nature of our soul is to include all that which has been excluded. The soul is very spacious. The soul is big enough for all of that. So our nature deep inside is to be inclusive of all things. The ego wants to judge. The ego wants to say, no, you don't belong. The ego and kind of your deeper spirit are always at odds. But realize that you're part of a compassionate universe. Everyone in your family system is there for some good reason that you won't know, but they all belong. When you kind of mentally or emotionally cast out a family member, like, I'm just going to forget about you, I'm going to have nothing to do with you, I'm going to pretend you don't exist, that happens. We'll look at all that which has been forgotten, all that which has been cast out, because everything in the family, your ex-husband, your second ex-husband, anyone in the family belongs in the family. And it plays an important role for your growth, for you. Again, it's a compassionate universe. That's one of my favorite ideas from Buddhist theology. It's all there for your growth, including the stuff you don't like, including the stuff you don't want to look at. But you wouldn't have come into this family if you weren't spacious enough to hold that. If you weren't spacious enough to hold that family situation, it wouldn't have happened, and you wouldn't be presented with these challenges or presented with these events or presented with these things. It's just up to you to take the step and kind of own that spaciousness. So we welcome every ancestor, we welcome every current family member. Everyone is family, everyone is welcome in the bigger sense. It's like being the host, the gracious host. It's the guest house quality that Rumi talks about. It's a journey of your soul, your compassion. If someone rejects you, that's their journey of their soul, of their compassion. You can say the door is open, and that's all you need to do. I'm going to be kind, the door is open in my mind, I'm not going to exclude. And that's all you need to do. And whatever this person does, it's not on you. It's their path, it's their karma. It doesn't matter. But you're kind of being the one who's open, and that's wonderful. That's, again, it doesn't, then what the other person does or doesn't do is not in your control at all. So it's not part of your practice at all. And you can't control it, and you can't do anything about it. So you can't worry about it. It says nothing about you. But if you take on that approach, you'll feel a huge sign of relief. Another reason to include anything that has been excluded. Anything we reject comes back around. What you resist persists and usually doubles. The world wants to be included in your heart and doesn't need to come back. Like the ugly scenarios, if you acknowledge it, if you give it a place, it doesn't need to repeat. That's this idea that what you're willing to be with, you move beyond. It's much easier to accept it as something that happened to your ancestors, so it doesn't happen to you. Or to not reject that like drunken uncle who makes inappropriate jokes at the party, to see that person's strength too, to see that person's value as a human being. So that situation doesn't repeat itself where that alcoholism gets passed down. So build relationships now to your current family, to your ancestors, to your significant others that are loving and respectful, no matter who your ancestors are, no matter who these people are. And again, maybe the relationships with your ancestors didn't start with that love, didn't start with that respect, but they can get there now. And that's the wonderful thing. And you'll have a huge sign of relief. This is interesting, a lot of cultures also have the theory that when you pass away, the first thing you see are your ancestors welcoming you. And the more you build a connection with them, like you see them At the height of their life, you see their image like looking festive and they're welcoming you to your next journey. That's nice. Like, again, I don't know if it's true, but a lot of, like, more than one tradition says it so. So here we're cultivating attitudes. You don't need to have a relationship with anyone, truly. You don't need to even talk to that uncle. What we're healing is the heart. If in your heart you can include that uncle into the family, include him as your family member, not reject him, send him compassion. You don't need to have a conversation with him or invite him to a party. Everything shifts from our inner approach. Tibetan monks spend their entire life sitting and sending compassion. And everything changes and their journey changes. They're not like at family parties, including those ancestors, but they're always sending compassion to all beings. Send compassion to that uncle. See strength in that uncle. Realize that thousands of ancestors are there too, and that he's the way he is for a reason. See the value in him as a human being, despite the negativity. See his humanity. And everything changes at that point. There's nothing you need to do. And I'm glad it's a relief. But the environment shifts when you shift. The relationship shifts when you shift. You don't have to do anything. There's nothing you actually have to do in the outside world. We're working with the inner world. We're setting intentions, we're setting compassion, we're cultivating acceptance, and that's the practice. And it actually does need to happen at the level of the heart. So just telling yourself, I'm not going to judge this person, that can still be the ego. And it's like the ego trying to feel enlightened. Let that warmth come from your heart. See if it can be an actual warmth toward him as a human being, that this uncle has experienced hundreds of good days, hundreds of bad days, lots of joy, lots of sorrow. This uncle has made mistakes just like me. Once you build that attitude, yeah, the rest doesn't matter. That's all we're doing. It's the art of jumping to more generous conclusions. It's the art of yourself as you're sitting here and thinking about ancestors and family, jumping to more generous, more gentle conclusions than the ego would otherwise suggest. And again, you're doing yourself a favor, because what you judge comes up again and again. The things you hate and judge, they'll reappear again and again. It's like it's knocking on the door of your heart, trying to get an opportunity to be welcomed by your heart. Ancestors are there to be loved and accepted and appreciated no matter who they are. And accepting your ancestors, you accept the entire cosmos. It's Elizabeth. My goal is to help you follow the path to happiness with these videos. There's always something new each week. Subscribe to this YouTube channel so you see them. I'll see you soon.